The audience buzzed with anticipation as Selena Gomez made her entrance onto the set of The View, smiling graciously and greeting the hosts with warm nods and brief hugs. It was meant to be a segment celebrating her new mental health initiative, a project close to her heart and rooted deeply in her personal journey. But from the moment she sat down next to Joy Behar, a certain energy hovered above the table. Joy, known for her directness and skeptical tone, wasted no time before challenging the celebrity guest. With a cool smile, she asked Selena whether she truly believed celebrities could speak on mental health without trivializing the suffering of ordinary people. Selena maintained her composure and replied earnestly, emphasizing that her experiences with bipolar disorder and anxiety were deeply personal, not just public talking points. Joy raised an eyebrow and nodded, but her tone sharpened slightly with the next question. She pointed out the monetization aspect of Selena's wellness brand, subtly suggesting that this could be more of a business move than a humanitarian one. Selena blinked, surprised but calm, clarifying that she wasn't profiting from others' pain, but trying to create a safe space for young people. The temperature of the room dropped a degree. Asterisk, it wasn't the first time that a guest had encountered tension on The View, but today felt unusually charged. Selena attempted to steer the conversation back toward her advocacy, speaking about her platform's free resources, open forums, and community support. But Joy interrupted her mid-sentence, her voice gaining edge as she asked whether Selena truly understood clinical treatment methods, or if she was simply sharing inspirational messages for likes and shares. The implication hung in the air like a storm cloud. Selena sat back, blinking again, this time slower. "I'm not claiming to be a therapist," she replied. "I'm someone who has been through it, and I'm using my voice to help people feel less alone." Joy smirked faintly, tapping her pen against her notepad. "But are you qualified to lead a national mental health conversation?" she asked. The audience murmured uneasily. Whoopi Goldberg leaned forward, clearly sensing the need to mediate but didn't speak yet. Selena's smile faltered for the first time, but she maintained her calm. "I don't have to be a doctor to talk about pain. I've lived it. Using what I know to help others." Joy folded her arms. "Or to promote your brand," she shot back. The tension turned almost physical. Selena turned her body slightly away from Joy now, addressing the other hosts more directly. "When I went public with my mental health struggles, it wasn't easy," she said. "People mocked me," headline. "Ran with rumors, and I kept going. Not because it helped me sell anything, but because people reached out to me, thanking me. People who were suicidal. People who were scared." Her voice trembled only slightly. Sarah N. nodded gently and tried to pivot the conversation to something more neutral. But Joy wasn't done. "I'm just asking the tough questions," she said with a shrug. "That's our job here." Selena's response came quicker this time. "No," she said. "Your job is to challenge ideas, not discredit lived experience. This isn't a game for me. I've had to be hospitalized. I've been medicated. I've had nights where I didn't want to exist. Does that count for something? Or do I need a license to be allowed to talk?" Her voice echoed slightly in the studio. The live audience was now silent. Joy opened her mouth but stopped. For a moment it felt like things might calm down. Then Joy muttered under her breath, "Celebrities always think their pain is profound." That was the moment everything flipped. Selena's head snapped toward Joy. Her eyes narrowed and voice low but fierce. "How dare you?" It wasn't loud, but it didn't need to be. Joy looked unfazed. Whoopi leaned in then, clearly about to intervene, but the two women were locked into their moment. Selena continued, "You think just because I'm famous, I can't hurt? That I'm performing when I talk about trying not to die?" Her hands trembled slightly. Anna Navarro looked down awkwardly. Producers offstage gestured frantically toward the floor manager, who signaled to the control booth to prepare a break. But they were already too late. Joy shrugged, doubling down. "You're not the only one who's struggled, Selena. Millions of people do. They don't get book deals or magazine covers out of it." "Ah," Selena laughed bitterly. "You think this is about fame?" Do you know what it feels like to be called crazy on national television? To be told you're broken? Her voice cracked. This isn't about a business. This is about survival. The audience erupted in spontaneous applause. Whoopi finally said, "Let's cool it," and called for an emergency break. The screen faded to commercial. But backstage, things were just heating up. Asterisk, Selena was quickly escorted off stage by two handlers and her publicist, her face pale with anger and disbelief. One of the producers tried to apologize, offering her a bottle of water and assuring her the clip could be edited. "Don't bother," Selena snapped. "The damage is done." Meanwhile, on set, Joy sat calmly as the other hosts huddled in whispers. Whoopi didn't say much, but made a call on her personal phone. The network was in chaos. Tweets were flying. Headlines were already forming. Clips from the broadcast, despite the break, had leaked through studio interns who were live posting. By the time Selena got to her dressing room, her phone was buzzing nonstop. Texts from friends, fellow celebrities, even therapists thanking her for speaking up. Hashtags like #RespectSelena and #TheViewMess were trending globally. Joy, on the other hand, remained stone-faced as producers urged her to offer a brief apology. "I said what I said," she replied coldly. "I didn't curse her. I just asked questions." But those questions were already being dissected and criticized online. As the backlash mounted, executives met in a high-security Zoom call, discussing potential fallout. Damage control protocols were issued. Joy was told not to speak to press. Asterisk, back in her dressing room, Selena tried to calm herself. Her assistant suggested leaving through the back exit to avoid the crowd of paparazzi already forming at the studio gates. "This wasn't supposed to be a fight," Selena said softly. "I came here to help people." She wiped her eyes, stood. Tolan gave one last look at the mirror before nodding. "Let's go." Meanwhile, inside the studio, the remaining segments were hastily reorganized. Pre-recorded content was swapped in, and audience members were quietly told that today's live segment was ending early. Joy was kept in her seat, quietly simmering, as legal teams whispered around the stage. By the next morning, news outlets from CNN to BuzzFeed were covering the story. Public sentiment skewed heavily in Selena's favor. Think pieces were already rolling out. Mental health professionals chimed in, condemning the belittling of lived experience. On social media, millions expressed support, sharing their own struggles with mental health and thanking Selena for standing her ground. Even politicians made vague statements about dismissing mental health for ratings. The tide was in motion, and Joy Behar was right in its path. Asterisk, the following day, Selena released a short statement on her Instagram, thanking her fans for the overwhelming support and reaffirming her commitment to mental health advocacy. "I didn't expect yesterday to turn into what it did," she wrote. "But if my discomfort opened one person's eyes, then it was worth it." The post quickly went viral, shared by celebrities, therapists, and advocacy groups alike. Meanwhile, The View faced mounting pressure to respond. The show issued a lukewarm apology, saying they regretted the segment, became emotionally intense, and promised future efforts to promote respectful dialogue. But it wasn't enough. Boycotts began, petitions circulated, sponsors called in, concerned. Joy remained silent for 48 hours before releasing her own statement through the network, insisting she had meant no harm and had only tried to push for deeper answers, but few bought it. The public had already made their judgment. Clips from the confrontation were used in mental health advocacy reels. Selena's platform saw a 300% increase in sign-ups within days. A clash meant to dismiss her ended up elevating her message more than any press tour could have. Asterisk, despite the chaos, Selena remained focused on her cause. She participated in an emergency panel on youth mental health 2 days later, invited by a university that had seen a spike in student counseling sessions following the ERED segment. She spoke calmly, deliberately, sharing what happened on The View as an example of why mental health stigma still exists, among educated adults with platforms. "It's not just about illness," she said. "It's about empathy. When we treat people's pain like performance, we fail as a society." The crowd gave a standing ovation. Meanwhile, the View's ratings saw a sharp dip. Some longtime viewers expressed disappointment. Others accused the show of manufacturing conflict for attention. Behind closed doors, producers debated whether Joy should take a leave of absence. Her defenders on the show pushed back, citing her years of service, but the public was unforgiving. Memes exploded. Edits showing Selena as a warrior for the voiceless and Joy as a gatekeeper of cruelty dominated the narrative. Selena hadn't wanted this fight, but she had emerged as a symbol of strength for many who had suffered in silence. Asterisk in the days that followed, more stories surfaced. Other